Okay.
All right. Let's pray. Lord God, we just thank you for this time together. We thank you that all of these women are here tonight, and just hope that they leave encouraged and excited, and with no anxiety or fears about what's coming this year, but with just hope and joy. I pray that you would give us words of wisdom and that we would just leave here with clear vision of where we're headed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Tracy. Okay. I am so excited about this call tonight. Because convention has been beyond crucial in transforming my business and therefore my life. When I went to my first convention. I was about a year into the business. I joined right after convention, which is another important story that I need to make sure we share at some point. I joined right after convention. And so I waited almost a full year before I went to my first convention. And I dragged Jay with me because I did not know any of the people on my team. Like, I had joined someone that knew Jay, and I knew all of these people from Zoom, but did not know them in person. And so I was really uncomfortable, and I made him go with me. And I'll never forget walking into the convention center and us being like, dang, this company is legit. Look at that. Right. I have a picture from my first convention standing by the diamond wall and pointing to the diamond wall and talking about how someday I was going to be on that wall. And I will never forget walking to one of the sessions with two of my sidelines and saying out loud, someday I'm going to be on that stage. And if it takes me 10 years to get to diamond, I don't care. It will be worth it. And y'all, that was transformative for me, for Jay, for my family, for my business. None of y'all would be here had I not gone to convention that year. Okay. So I get real excited about convention because of the way that it can transform your business. I want you to drop a 1 in the chat if you are registered and pumped. I want you to drop a 2 in the chat if you're excited, but you haven't gotten registered yet. And I want you to drop a 3 in the chat if you're like, I'm still checking it out. I haven't decided yet. You're going to have to convince me in the next 25 minutes because I think I'm here for it. Good. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of 1s, a lot of 2s in there. If you are not registered yet, I don't know this is coming, but I'm hoping a deal is coming at Super Saturday. So keep your eyes peeled. Maybe we will have a convention deal coming Super Saturday. Here's the deal, y'all. Skipping it is not an option. I'm just going to be real frank. If you want to build a business with Plexus, if you see the potential for income, if you see the opportunity and you want to do this as more than a hobby, even if you kind of want to do it as a hobby, convention it's a non-negotiable, right? It goes on our calendar immediately. And it's not like we don't have obstacles to come. Y'all, we got 4 kids, right? We've got obstacles to overcome to get there, just like everybody else does, but you have to be there in person with your people. And it will change the way that you work your business leading up to convention, because what you're telling your brain when you register for convention is, I'm serious about this. I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in my future. And that shifts your posture, y'all. It just does. Because if you choose not to register, then what are you telling your brain? I'm not serious about this. And so you say it won't impact your business, but it will. I've seen it 8 years running now, right? And so it shifts your posture going into convention, and it sure as mess shifts your posture coming out of convention. And I want Mary to share a little bit of her story, because her story is a little different than mine. She was only with Plexus for a few months before she came to her first convention. Mary, why was this a good investment, and how did it change your business?
Oh, I was so nervous. I was so nervous to go to convention.
For convention?
For convention, yes. I was really nervous because I still, I guess, wasn't 100% sure of the belief in the business. I'm not gonna lie. I was listening to Tracy, and she's like, "You gotta come to convention," and I'm like, "I'm a party girl, so I'm gonna go." And I'm like, "What am I gonna do there? What? Are you kidding me? What does this mean?" And what did it mean for me? It was everything. It transformed my belief, first of all, that I am surrounded by amazing people, by people that know what they're doing. And yes, the graphics were incredible. I'm a graphic designer, as Tracy, and I could not get enough of the visuals, the lighting. I know what goes behind all of that. So that was impactful for me and very gratifying, from a graphic designer perspective. I can like, this is amazing. This is so beautiful. And I remember coming back and I picked up the phone and I called Rosibel, who was my only builder at the time. And I just literally vomited on her, everything. And the vision. I don't know what came out of my mouth, but Rosibel got it. It was like I was looking at my life 10 years from now, or from that time. I mean, let's just go closer, 5 years. And I think for her, it clicked when I mentioned kids going to college, finances. This is where we're going. Oh my gosh. Like if you could only see what I saw, like if you could only understand where these women have gone and continues to move into. I want to be a part of that. We deserve to be a part of that. So yes, it was everything. It was incredible. And not only that, just to know all of y'all that have been liking and commenting on my posts for a long time. I felt like I went to Hollywood when I met all of y'all, and I just hugged you guys. And I feel like I was really meeting people that I've watched in movies. Like that's how I felt. It was incredible. And the love, it was in the air. I could touch it. It was just like, I am feeling amazing. Good hands, great community. They know what you're doing. You guys know what you're doing. I feel so good. I don't know how else to say it. It was exactly what I expected and more. And it wasn't a lie. It wasn't it wasn't like y'all were wearing a mask and then you guys go up there and you're like, oh, these ladies are not that nice as I thought they were on Facebook. They're actually really nice. And you guys, you Tracy and Meredith, you did such a great job at preparing us to go to convention. When I saw the amazing variety that we found out there, that I told Rosibel, like my cousin, because I talk to Rosibel a lot, it's like, oh my gosh, what you're gonna see in convention is like, we are just one kind. We're just one very special kind. But you're going to find so many different things out there. I can't even explain it. You just have to go see. And the speakers, it was incredible. Everything I needed to say, yes, I'm in 100%. So I guess did I cover everything? Because that's really, I don't know what else to say. You got to go. You have to experience it.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, I just have to share this from a little bit of a different perspective, y'all. Mary Carmen and I weren't close friends before she joined me in Plexus. She saw my post and she messaged me to like tell me to chill out. I just had a baby. And and then she joined my team and then she started sharing. And I think you started sharing in like April, like the beginning of April, March, April-ish. And so, mind you, at this point, she's been sharing for a month. And I like feel that tap, tap, tap on the shoulder that the Lord does sometimes. And he's like, you should invite her to convention. And you're like, what? No, she's only been sharing for a month. I don't need to invite her. Like, she's probably going to tell me no. And y'all, if you think it gets easier to hear no, it honestly, like, you don't want to hear it. So I'm just not going to ask. And I just felt that over and over. And I was like, I'm going to have to ask her. We have one spot left in our room. Like, it's for Mary Carmen. I know that it is. And so I messaged her and I was like, hey, you should come to this. And you guys, I want to say that because don't write anybody's story. From my perspective, I was like, she has 4 kids. Like, her husband's not even totally on board with this yet. It's going to cost money. Like, she hasn't even gone gold yet. Like, all of these things in my head. And my job was to ask. And then she was like, well, maybe And I was like, that's not a no. And so then it was a follow-up to the ask. Hey, did you talk to Kayvon about this? What does he think? She was like, we're going to have to figure it out. I've never left my baby before. I was like, you can use my breast pump if you need to. Y'all, these are the conversations we were having. And she did, in fact, use my breast pump in the room. And we grew even closer that day. But I think there's a different perspective here too, that I want so many of y'all to hear is it's your job to ask. It's your job to invite. It's not your job to decide whether or not somebody on your team wants to come. And I think so often we make that decision for them because we don't want to feel the emotions that might come with a no. But y'all, it wasn't a no for Mary. It was a yes. And what's really ironic is that I attended my first convention just 3 months into sharing Plexus also. Yet I still started to write a red light story regarding Mary. And so I want you to know that. Who do you need to invite to join you at convention? Who's just started sharing this week that you need to plant a seed for to come to convention for you? Y'all, I want to talk about why it's a big deal that you come to convention. But first, I want to touch on a few things that you might be thinking right now. I'm going to change my view to where I can see everybody because I want some hand raised. Raise your hand if you've ever said, I don't really want to go to Las Vegas. No interest. I heard somebody at our Gold School, she was like, oh, it's Sin City. I don't want to go there. And I was like, well, it is that, but it's also Plexus Convention. And y'all, I had been to Vegas one time before my first convention, and I was like, nope, I don't ever have any interest in going back. It was not my scene, okay? And then my friend Paige invited me to convention in Vegas, and I was like, yeah, I don't think so. She was like, no, you should really come. And then my husband was like, I think you should probably go if you're gonna like do this. And I was like, okay. And let me tell you this, you guys, we are not going to Las Vegas for playing and partying. We are going to grow ourselves and to grow our businesses. It is not late nights, early mornings. It is not partying all night on the strip. I will tell you, I know almost all of the women on this screen, most of us are there to simply grow our businesses. Our fun times look like coffee in the morning before we head to session, right? Standing in line for the store and chatting. And nobody gets crazy, and you're not going to feel this pressure of Vegas like you might see late night chats in PJs. Yes. It is so different than the Vegas I had experienced going with girlfriends before any of us had kids. And I was like, this is not my scene. Okay. That wasn't this. What I love about Vegas is everything is all together. Everything is really close together and in walking distance. You can eat lunch, go to session, go to your room, and it's all right there. It's just so nice. And so now I love going to Vegas because it's central for everybody to get to, even our friends from Hawaii. It's pretty affordable to fly to and to stay at. The rooms are really affordable. And if you were in Nashville last year where rooms were not affordable, you can see why this would be a good thing. Let's see, what else did I write down? Maybe you don't like crowds and you're like, ooh, I don't really like people, Tracy. I don't know that I want to go. You guys, we are in the business of loving people. So here's your news flash. If you don't like people, that's what we do. We see people and we help them feel their best. So what if you could make some connections with people that could be friends for your life? It is the most incredible community. I'm not a business builder. I haven't really decided if I'm doing this thing yet. I just like the products and I shared with a few friends. I'm not building a business yet. Should I still go? Yes. You guys, most of us didn't start out as business builders. Most of us just started sharing because we loved what the products had done for us and we felt like we wanted to help some people. We wanted to get the cost of our products covered. Here's what I want you to know. Many, many millionaires have said if they were to lose everything and have to rebuild their wealth from scratch, they would choose network marketing. It would be foolish of you to not learn more about what this opportunity could hold at this time in our lives. Okay. Whether you're looking at this becoming your main income or you're looking at this becoming a side income, you're looking at this as becoming an income. And my hope is that you would be open to the growth that you would experience along the way. So whether you're running hard in a business builder or just kind of dabbling in this, it is going to be beneficial for you. And you're going to see everybody there. You guys, there's a group of people, I call them the Plexus groupies. They love Plexus and they've been with the company for like 12 years and they've maybe only ever shared with 5 to 10 people. And they come to every convention and they just love Plexus. There is a space for everyone here. And we hope that you'll see that. Okay. The last one that I have listed on my kind of limiting beliefs is that I have a limited budget and I'm just not sure if we're going to be able to afford that this coming summer. You guys, I get it. I get it. When I started sharing Plexus, we had no margin in our budget. That's why I started sharing Plexus. And here's what I found. When I decided early on that I was going to go to convention, I used some of the income I made growing my business over the next couple of months to pay for my travel to convention and my expenses while I was there. Okay. You all have the opportunity to earn an additional $400 on top of the compensation plan for 4 months in a row, January, February, March, and April. Even if you were to earn that for one of the months, you guys, that would cover your plane ticket and your hotel. Okay. If you were to earn it for 2 of the months, there's your plane ticket, your hotel, and your food. So really look at your business as leveraging it to cover the cost of the event that is going to change your business. I promise you, it is going to be worth it. I've been to, gosh, this will be my 7th convention, a couple virtual ones in the middle there that we try to forget about. But I'm telling you this, you guys, I have never seen the excitement in this company that I'm seeing from the corporate offices right now. The things that we are stepping into this year with Plexus are going to change, grow, and just magnify the impact of these products and of this company. You are at the forefront of this company's like long history to come. We are only 13 years old as a company? Oh, you are ground floor. Jump in, link arms, and see what this can be for you. People are looking for this. Gut health is on every news cycle. It's what everybody's talking about, even the influencers. And you have this right here at your fingertips. So I hope I've kind of talked a little bit about some of the things that you're like, oh. And now Meredith is going to talk a little bit about strategy in the contest, because here's why. You guys, Plexus sets up this convention contest for 4 months so that your business can grow during this contest. And some of the prizes that Meredith's going to tell you about are going to cover the cost of your trip. And so it's really incredible how this works together and how Plexus sees the picture, and they want you to grow your business in this season.
Yes. Okay. So for the sake of time, I am not going to give you a super duper detailed map. Okay. I'm not going to get super into numbers right now. We will do that in smaller groups, but like your maps are all going to look different depending on where you're at in your business. But I do want to talk about a few things convention contest wise. If you have not like looked into this at all, the prizes are ridiculous. Okay. So The first prize is a $50 gift card to the Plexus store, the convention store, which you're going to want because it's super fun to be shopping in the Plexus Convention store. And there's like merchandise you can only get there. Y'all, that is only 3,000 credits. And I know right now you're thinking, what? 3,000 credits? That was sweeping Leaders Retreat. Well, yeah, y'all, how many credits did you get for one person at $150 for Leaders Retreat? Do you remember? 25. I'm seeing you guys 25. How many credits do you get for one person at $150 here? 100. That's 4 times as many credits. Okay. 4 times as many credits. That's a big deal. That's a real big deal. If you had like 750 credits in the previous contest, which was in Q4, which is not our strongest quarter, you would have earned the $50 gift card. Okay. So I don't want anybody panicking when you see numbers like 3,000, because they have adjusted the numbers that you're getting for every single order moving forward. Okay. So just keep that in mind. The 8,000 is a $500 cash, right? If you're concerned about how you're going to cover it, there is another answer for you right there. $500 cash for 8,000 credits. That's 2,000 credits a month. All right. Very, very doable. Y'all, black tie gala. Black tie gala is the bomb. It is so much fun. They call it mom prom because we get the chance to get all dressed up, which is like so rare. I can remember being in high school thinking like, man, this is it. Prom, like it's as good as it's going to get. I'm never going to have a job where I get to dress up fancy. Apparently I am. And I want you to hear me say this, not as a brag, but as a belief. My second convention, we earned gala on Jay's leg and he was gold. Okay. So, and that was sweeping the contest, by the way, because gala used to be at the very tippy top. And I share that because I want you to know that you don't have to be a jewel to earn gala. All right. I've done it. Lots of other people have done it. Right. You don't have to be a jewel to earn gala. That's our third prize. Then there's a 3-night hotel stay where Plexus will cover the cost of your hotel. And then there's what's called the high roller reception. And Genevieve said, this is like the experience of all experiences. Okay. So I am working to sweep the contest because I'm an Enneagram 3 and I want all of the prizes. All right. And I want you to hear me say that I believe truly, I speak the truth. I believe that every single one of you could also sweep the contest. We are entering into a season of momentum. You have the resources, you have the tools, you have the support. I truly believe every single one of you can sweep the contest. I've looked at the contest details. Y'all, we get a lot of credits for ranking up. Have you noticed that yet? A whole lot more credits than we were getting for ranking up in the past. And you get just as many credits for helping a level 1 rank up as you do for ranking up yourself. Okay. Y'all, they're throwing credits out like nobody's business. If you are working your business consistently in this first trimester, if you're doing the things that Tracy was talking about, where you're earning each of those incentives each month, okay, that adds up to you ranking up and sweeping the contest. Okay. I want you in the next week or 2, I'm giving you time. It's a 4-month contest. I want you to work with someone, upline, sideline, someone to have a map. Because, and Erin is the perfect example of this. How many times has Erin been like, it's not going to happen, Meredith. I don't see it. I don't see, she's laughing because she knows it's true. Every contest, it's not going to happen. And I'm like, Erin, we just need to map. Okay. We just need to map. And we sit down and sometimes I'm like, oh Lord, it's not going to happen. And then we start mapping And I'm like, oh, looky there, right? Like you're helping this person and this person and this. Oh, okay. This is how it's going to work, right? When you get a map, you feel so much more confident. And I can't give that to you right now because all 40 of you are going to have different maps, but I can tell you that I believe that you can do this. Okay. Here are my big tips. Start now. Start now sprinting towards the convention contest. Do not expect that, for example, if you set your goal as 10,000 credits, do not expect to end January with 2,500. That is not typically how it works. It has a snowball effect because of retention credits and rank up credits. Now, some of us are starting with a leg up because we've got the work that we did in November and December that will count as retention credits. Some of us didn't have a great November and December, and we're not counting on a lot of retention credits from that. So start the sprint now and just know that it's not going to divide evenly into 4 months because you're going to have to start accruing those retention, right? Everybody that I recruit in January, I can now get retention credits for in February and March and April. So that's 400 credits per person when they order $150 in January, February, March, and April. But if I don't recruit them until March, because I don't believe that I can do it, and I'm not really working towards it, then I only have the option for getting 200 credits for them. Okay, so starting early is one of my biggest strategies for having a successful contest so that it can snowball bigger. Believe that you can do this. Show up with that belief. And I swear, some of y'all gonna be real surprised when you're at that high roller reception. You're gonna be like, man, Meredith said I could do this, but I didn't really think I could. Okay, be that person who shows up with the belief anyways and does the thing anyways and surprises yourself. Okay, so that's all I want to say on that for now. We will dive more into mapping and things like that as we get going, but it starts with belief, and I want you to start sprinting now so that you can have that snowball effect. We're almost done. I promise. We want to respect your time. I want you to hear from my dear friend, Leslie, and I'm going to pick on her a little bit too. Apparently, I'm just in a picky mood. I will never forget when she came to her first convention. I think you were Ruby at this point, right, Leslie? So Leslie is one of our COVID babies, right? She started sharing during COVID, and we had virtual conventions and virtual events. And so whereas I'm like, it's non-negotiable, right? Because that's how it was when I got started. That was not her experience. And so she had earned her first leaders retreat. It was the first leaders retreat post-COVID. And we were talking about this time of the year about convention. And she was like, Meredith, I don't know. Like we've got a lot going on, and I don't have the days, and I don't have the budget, right? Like the same things Tracy was talking about. And I'm thinking, this girl is so serious about her business. Like she's wanting to quit her job. How can she not come to convention? Like, this is crazy. And I'm like, okay, just calm down, Meredith. She's going to come to leaders retreat. And when she comes to leaders retreat, she's going to see all the things, and I'm not going to have to convince her. And so I'm like holding back my tongue. And we're standing, she earned the VIP reception at Leaders Retreat because she's awesome. And so I'm standing in the VIP reception, and she brings it up. She's like, well, Matt and I have been talking, and I think we're going to try to make it work to come to convention. And I'm like, you think? Like, you can't miss convention. So Leslie, I just want you to share a little bit from your perspective. How was it kind of overcoming those excuses, and how did that change your business moving forward?
Okay. So much I can talk about here. So, like Meredith said, I didn't have a lot of vacation days built up yet at work. And we truly did not think that we could fit it in our budget. But Plexus, as great, like they are, they had a contest where, just similar to what we have now, where you could earn cash. So I knew that if I wanted to go to I knew I wanted to go, but I knew there was just some obstacles in the way, right? And I had to try to figure out a way to get around those obstacles to make it happen. And after going to Leaders Retreat and just seeing, that going to events, like you think you believe, like you think you know what this is about, but until you go experience an event and you actually see it, like it's just unexplainable. And when we went to leaders retreat, Matt and I were like, we've got to go to convention, like we have to. And that is when I made up my mind, I'm going to do everything that I can to earn the cash for us to go to convention, so that that is not an excuse and we can go. And I worked hard. Let me tell you, I dug in and I worked hard. And not only did we earn enough cash to completely pay for all of our hotels, our gas going, our food, everything. I also earned enough cash that Matt and I got to extend our stay, and we got to go. It was in Columbus that year, and we got to stay a couple extra nights and go to the Ark that we had never been to and always wanted to go to together and spend some time together. It was special, and it's just, it gives me chills talking about it. It was an experience like I had not ever experienced, as far as, like I said, like you see people on Zoom, but to actually see them in person and get to hug their neck, like Mary Carmen was saying, the love. I will never forget that night that our team had food catered in at the hotel. And like we were in that room together, everybody was just so excited to get to meet you in person. Like we took pictures like crazy. Like everybody was wanting to snap pictures with you. Like she said, you felt like you were a movie star. It was just so welcoming. And that was the year that they launched Reset. So they had the store set up with the big, huge reset box. You could go snap pictures. It was just, it's just hard to explain. I think one thing that really stood out to me that I will never forget, that kind of was, it changed something in me. There was a man that spoke. Plexus always brings in guest speakers from outside of Plexus to come and pour into us. And there was a man that spoke about how he was brought up in foster care. And his parents had dropped him off. It was like at a rest stop or something late in the middle of the night, told him to get out of the car, and they drove off and left him. And he was put into foster care. And long story short, he talks about how when he was 18, he aged out of the foster care and he had nowhere to go. And it just kind of like pulled on my heartstrings, y'all. And I was able to see some of those jewels, and how they were talking about how they were able to support orphanages, and they were able to support, different ministries and things and like that. And I was like, that's when I realized that this opportunity is something way bigger than anything I could ever do. And that Plexus could be the vehicle to so many things that God might be laying on your heart, to help other people, to minister. It's not just about the products, y'all. We have wonderful products, okay? But the friendships, the just the things that God could use you through, that it was so eye-opening to me. And that is when I really, my belief in Plexus, and where this could take us, I think that's when I started dreaming again. And I started realizing that that God could really use this opportunity. And not only for me, my husband got to go with me, which was incredible, because, our husbands see us on these Zooms. They see us working hard and doing all the things. But they don't, they don't always get to be on here with us and see things that we're working on and doing. But when he got to go to convention with me, like, it was eye-opening for not only for me, but for him too. And y'all, our whole trip home, we were able to, it was wonderful. We were able to dream together, talk together about like what this could look like. And I just knew like it was just right. I just knew that I truly knew then that God had placed this into our lives for a reason. And so I just want to encourage you that if you are having any of those thoughts that maybe you don't think you're going to be able to afford it, dig in, work hard, make a way, and get to convention. Try to remove the excuses, because the excuses are going to be there. The excuses are going to be there with anything that that you are trying to do to move forward. There's always going to be something that is some error that's going to fly in your way, right? Everything is figure outable. That's what I want to leave with, is everything is figure outable, as Christina Williams would say. So if you really want to grow and grow your business, try your best to get to convention. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. That convention, I went by myself, me and Matt. Like, of course, I had all of, my upline, but I didn't have anybody on my team that went with me. Fast forward to Nashville, and y'all, like, it's so fun to go, but it's even more fun when you get to take people with you. And I had 8 people that got to go to Nashville with us, and we had the best time. And I cannot wait to see how many go to Vegas, because I'm expecting that number is going to keep growing year after year. And one more thing, I know I keep saying, and one more thing. When I came back from Columbus Convention in June, I was so on fire. I could just see myself a jewel up there. When those jewels were up there on the stage, I thought, I want to be up there, and I could just like see it, y'all. And the next month, our points as a team were the highest that they had ever been, except for this past July. And I just truly think it's just because I just saw I saw what this could be. So get yourself to convention.
Leslie, I'm going to go register again, but I already registered. You guys, I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel just wanted and welcome here. Because our heart is that you would feel that. You would know that we want you to come so that you can dream again. If you did not see the chat blowing up, it was like, that's when I started dreaming again. That's when I started dreaming again. And I know for me, that first convention as a gold ambassador, truly, that's when I started dreaming again. And I started to think, what if? What if I did see this through? What if I did start, doing more trainings and investing in this like a business and not a hobby? Like, what if I did that? And so what I want to leave you with tonight is, what if today you just decided, I'm going to go to convention and I'm going to work right now through convention like the ambassador I want to show up to convention as, right? Who do you want to be when you show up to convention? What if you decided to be her today? How does she work? How does she talk to people? How does she show up on social media? What if you just decided to make those changes today? And I'm telling you, your business is going to grow over the next 6 months because of it. I'm betting you'll actually bring a friend, if not 2 or 3, to convention with you if you make that decision today. Now, a plug before we go: if you're not registered for Super Saturday, it's this coming Saturday. You're going to want to do that, because Meredith mentioned, we don't know, they may have a special offer for people to register for convention. Okay. So we want you to get registered for the Super Saturday. This is like a mini convention. It's 3 hours of training for business builders. We have several pop-up locations throughout the country watching it, or you can watch it from home live streamed. But I think it's $20 to attend virtually, and it is going to be worth it. The other thing, if you have not seen this before, you guys, this is a tracker, is what I call it. It is everything Plexus that I do inside of this book. It has the convention contest details. It has 4 months at a glance for planting. It has retention. It has daily tasks in there. And the whole thing is timed out to 17 weeks because the convention contest is 17 weeks. So what I want you to consider not only is what if I decided to show up differently today, but what if I decided to consistently show up for the next 17 weeks? What prize do you think you could earn if you did that? What if you asked for coaching and shared the opportunity with your customers and invited them on this journey with you, right? What if you didn't write the story for someone like Mary Carmen and you told them today that you wanted them there with you in June? You guys, Mary Carmen hadn't even joined me last January. And here we are in January looking forward to June. So as we leave here, I just want you to think, what if? Where could my business be? Where could my life be come June if I showed up differently today? Okay, y'all, we're so excited. Thank you. Thank you for being on with us tonight, y'all. We crossed 40. Woo! And we are going to have the best reunion and the best celebration in Vegas this summer, y'all. Thank you so much for being on with us tonight. We hope that you feel empowered and encouraged. We love you so much, and we'll
Love
see
you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.